back to another Jurassic and Jones video. I'm really excited today because today I'm going to tell you all a little bedtime story. Once upon a time, far, far away, there lived a little rabbit. Just kidding. Actually, what I will be doing is making up like my own movie. So we are going to look at what if Indiana Jones was in Jurassic Park. And I mean the 1993 Jurassic Park, the classic one. So here we go, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So here we are. Indiana Jones is walking around in Jurassic Park, and he gets eaten by a T-Rex. Just kidding. Our story actually starts in the Badlands of Montana, where Dr. Alan Grant is digging up dinosaur bones. Now, in my version of the story, Indiana Jones and Dr. Alan Grant used to be roommates in college, and they both studied paleontology and archaeology. They're out there digging when they see the helicopter land on their site, and they run over to see who is here. That's when they meet John Hammond, the owner of InGen. John Hammond explains that he has opened up a biological attraction, and he wants to invite them to come and give in a good word for him. But he won't tell them what's there. Oh, by the way, LA's here as well. So they agree. The next thing they know, John Hammond has them on a helicopter flying towards an unknown island. Now, John Hammond is really excited. This is his chance to get in a good word so he can open his park to the public. They finally reach the island. And when they do, John Hammond shows them for the very first time a dinosaur, the Brachiosaurus. We then get the famous words from John Hammond as he says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." John Hammond then gives them a tour of the lab where they actually are cloning real dinosaurs. This is also the place where we get the famous sentence from Ian Malcolm as he says, "Life finds a way." Then Alan Grant realizes that they are cloning real live velociraptors. Alan thinks that it's a very, very bad idea to be cloning dinosaurs, but Indiana Jones thinks it's a great idea and thinks that people will enjoy seeing and learning more about these prehistoric animals. So the two of them kind of are arguing a little bit. And Alan thinks that he is completely right and Indiana Jones is wrong. While John Hammond takes the others on a tour of the island, Indiana Jones decides to stay and hang around to see how the park is really run from the control room. That's when he meets Dennis Nedry. And he learns about Dennis Nedry's plan to destroy Jurassic Park. So Dennis Nedry obviously steals the embryos and runs away, with Indiana Jones chasing behind. Oh yeah, and by this point, Alan is bravely holding off the T-Rex with an awesome flare. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones is fervently chasing Dennis Nedry all over the park to try to catch him and bring him to justice. Oh yeah, and by this point, the lawyer's been eaten by the T-Rex. I forgot to mention that. Finally, Dennis Nedry comes to a clearing and stops, when suddenly a dinosaur appears and gobbles him up. Indy then shows up to find the dinosaur, and he quickly runs back towards the visitor center. When he returns to the control room, he fervently does his best to try to stop Dennis Nedry's plan from releasing all of the dinosaurs. He finds Ellie in the visitor center, and they decide that they need to try to locate Alan, because who knows where he's at. Alan, who survived the T-Rex, is walking through the woods when he stops and looks down and finds dinosaur eggs. He then realizes that John Hammond's plan to not repopulate the dinosaurs has failed, and that life did find a way. Oh yeah, and John Hammond is busy in the dining room of the visitor center, simply just sitting around eating ice cream, and he's definitely gonna have a sugar rush. Indy and Ellie find Alan walking through the woods with the dinosaur egg, and then they all head back towards the visitor center. Once they make it back to the control room, Indy heads off to try to find John Hammond so they can get off the place, leaving the two of them behind to try to solve the problem that Dennis Nedry made. Indiana Jones is simply wandering around the visitor center, trying his best to find John Hammond, who, unbeknownst to him, is still in the dining room eating ice cream and getting a sugar rush. Indiana Jones then heads towards the kitchen. Once Indiana Jones reaches the kitchen, he's surprised to find a velociraptor. John Hammond shows up in the control room, and yeah, he's definitely had a sugar rush. Alan then tells him where Indy is at and that he may be in trouble. That's when John Hammond goes, "Superjoy!" and zooms off. Indiana Jones is being chased by the velociraptor when John Hammond shows up. and beats up the Velociraptor with his cane. "That's what an ice cream can do," he shouts, along with a sugar rush, of course. They then escape in a Jurassic Park Jeep, narrowly missing the jaws of the T-Rex. And that, my friends, is how Indiana Jones fits into Jurassic Park. Please leave a like down below or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again in another Jurassic and Jones awesome adventure. Have a wonderful day.